again, you know how I am. I don't really have an intro. I woke up like an hour ago, but I like this game. Never beat it or played it. I just bought it a while ago. Didn't really do much with it, so I'm here to play it. I'm here to be a lawyer and defend people. I forget all of the buttons. By the way. So I think we're gonna do this via episodes. I think it's just gonna be easiest. So yeah. First turnabout. Yes. We get to be a lawyer. Damn it. Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number Dose. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Hiya, Chief. Ooh, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kinda owe my current job. I owe my current job to him. I'm sorry. It's gonna happen a lot. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough at you, Mia. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, it's him. Death, despair. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick. Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell him I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I'm not afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Nick, you gotta tell me, who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. This is the anime opening right here. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. Bish is dead. My bad. Young woman, not Bish. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butz. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 20 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone, and that he's a good guy at heart. That and I owe him one, which is why I took the case. To clear his name. And his butts. And that's just what I'm gonna do. August 3rd, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butz. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Also, the judge can't read either. I'm looking at my script and it's just a bunch of scribbles. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Hands shaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. Butz. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butz, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Don't mind the fact that we're just trying to make sure you're not insane while we're in the trial. It's whatever. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me what's the victim's name. I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's... Wait. Uh-oh. No way. I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name. Of course I know the victim's name. I just forgot temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press tab to check it at any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Don't do it for me. Please, I'm begging you. Oh, do it for me. I thought she was just calling me stupid and to save my own ass. Or my butts. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? I didn't look at it yet, Your Honor. It's Sydney. Cinderblock. The victim's name is Sydney Stone. Correct. Now tell me what the cause of... I just changed Stu's name on a whim. Tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was... hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. Even though you had to pull out the file to know who was dead. You know, whatever. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first a question for the prosecution, Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck by a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was the statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. It's rather heavy. Right? Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use tab to check the court record frequently. Ah! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butz, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later. So be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh, Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Oh, look at my boy Larry. Ahem. Mr. Butz, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy! We were great together. We were Romeo, Juliet, Cleopatra, and Mark Anthony. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me, ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butz, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She just recently returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it, lies! I don't believe a word of it! Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Okay. I'm gonna get lost in all these voices. Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way! The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! I need to get on that! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Mrs. Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butz, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I Stop him! My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Oh, I've been verbally kicked. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Let's continue with the trial, shall we?
I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone.
Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is not looking good.
Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not?
I don't know what that sound was, but we'll go with it.
Well, did you or did you not?
Well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. He went. What do I do?
Well, he's gotta.
If I stop him at every step of the way, I'm gonna look suspicious. Like I have to. I know. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went. You went. Yeah, oh God. Order. Well, Mr. Butz. Dude, chill. I'm only in a murder case. She wasn't home, man. So like, I didn't see her.
Your Honor, the defendant is lying.
Lying?
The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butz is lying.
Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness?
The man who found the victim's body just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime.
Order. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. It just... Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is bad.
On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Saw to the stand.
Sand? The stand. Fuck, I've been thinking of the beach lately.
Mr. Saw, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct?
Oh, yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Salt, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness testimony. Okay. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must have been in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. Quailed and frightened, found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working?
Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building.
Are the phones supposed to work during a blackout?
Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Salt used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Son of a bitch! How am I supposed to be a lawyer if I can't even read?
Now, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? All right, Wright. This is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Well, you're exposed to lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lie? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? And that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Open the court record with then point to contradictions in the testimony. Okay. Witness's account. The cross-examination. Going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must have been in a hurry because he left the door Excuse me. Left the door open behind him. Thinking it was strange, I looked inside the apartment, then I saw her lying there, a woman not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. Wait. The phone in her apartment wasn't working. You have to go inside her apartment to use the phone. The phone in her apartment wasn't working. Yes, I mean, no, it wasn't, right. But you said you didn't go into the apartment. Or did you? Oh, that. I can explain that. There was a cordless phone on a shelf in the entranceway. I reached inside and tried using that to call.
And that phone wasn't working, correct? What happened next?
On a public phone, I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was up, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. She died between 4 and 5. Take that, bitch! You found the body at 1 p.m., you're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at some time after 4. There was nobody, or no body, to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap?
This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time.
After his testimony, I find it hard to believe. Mr. Sod, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.?
Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, right? Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart. Oh, shit. Wait, I remember now.
Would you care to give your testimony again? As I stroke my beard.
Tell me your lies. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. There was a blackout. I already know. You bitch. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. He's lying!
I see you heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
I already know. I already know, Mia. You know what to do. I've got this one. I really do. Watch this shit. Watch this. I heard the time there was a voice saying it. Probably coming from the television. I think not. Bitch! Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery, and this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video.
The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Solid?
No, I find it quite puzzling myself, quite. Wait, I remember now.
Mr. Solid, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility.
That and you seem... Oh shit, I thought that was him talking.
That you seem rather distraught.
My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been a shock of finding the body.
Very well, Mr. Solid. Let's hear your testimony once more, please.
I can't read. What is happening? I'm taking... Hang on. Where's my drink? Alright, I'm going drinkless, whatever. I don't have a drink with me. Naturally, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment. Wasn't there? Oh, God. Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw.
You saw a clock, I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Gladly. Your Honor. Hearing the time. I didn't hear the time I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it. It's a statue, you absolute dingus. Wait just a moment! The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was a statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? You with your objections and your evidence, just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Saw It. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That was a clock.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Payne?
As the witness stated, the statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it, it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submit it as a statue. My apologies.
I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony now?
Yes, sir. He had to tilt the fucking head. You dingus. You absolute fool. You Santa Claus looking bastard. Your Honor. There's a gaping hole in this witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went to the apartment. You're lying. You were inside that apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That's the sound you heard.
Order in the court. It's getting entirely too steamy up in this bitch. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sod, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time.
But what's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture.
Baseless? Just look at the witness's face.
Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock?
That day, I never, the clock, no, gah! Stop! I hate you. It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn, give him death.
Order in the court, I say.
Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claim.
Mr. Wright,
Your Honor,
you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence?
The whole case is riding on this one. Better think through carefully. Your Honor, sound Mr. saw her was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply sound the clock. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock so I can put my fingerprints on it and become the murderer? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25.
That certainly is a strange way to announce the time.
Well, he is the thinker after all.
So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright?
Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now?
It's 11:25.
As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely this Hang on, I gotta take a breather. This is getting real. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one. You forgot one thing. Uh-oh, what's he talking about now?
While it may seem the clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case.
He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close.
Mr. Wright, it seems you lack critical evidence to support your claim.
Not exactly, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. No. No.
This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Well, I can talk again, unfortunately. This ends the cross-examination to Mr. Frank Solid.
I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal. You lawyers are all slime. Yeah, I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sot. Chief, listen up, right? Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But, Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yeah. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Right? Can you think of a reason to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? 'Cause she was in France. Bitch. Wait, maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let him have it.
Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim?
Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off.
Let's see this evidence to prove why the clock is running slow.
Passport, Your Honor, you bitch. Take that! The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset the clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in the apartment was wrong. I couldn't read because the text wasn't coming fast enough. Proof enough for you, Mr. Saw It, or should I say, Mr. Did It.
Order, I say. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness.
He was arrested and had been taken away, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
I have to say I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen anyone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butz, not guilty.
Where's the cake at? Yay! Oh.
And with that, this court is adjourned.
Oh. Sorry. Turns out that Frank Sot was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check to see where people were out of the house that day. When Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sot let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sot grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Whew! Still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end with such a satisfying note. I've never seen a chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Nick, don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Wait, no. I mean, bad. Bad. Larry. Oh. Larry. You're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Winnie's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was... Never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butz, innocent. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat. No, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present for me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick, can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. A dang fiddle. Don't that just want to make you cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right, Ray? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? The fucking statue. Objection! Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? What about the clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry, and it has my fingerprints on it. The murder weapon. She took it with her when she traveled. Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Almost like it was used as a murder weapon or something. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner on me? How about dinner, comma, on me? Just clear that up. We'll drink a toast to innocent Butz. Yeah! Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer is because of him. Yeah, part, at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us. Unless you got the clock." I didn't know it then. But that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep.